All right, I am going to explain what I call the story model. This is something that I teach in multiple classes. Chase teaches in multiple classes because it is probably one of the most important models that someone can learn and understand. It creates awareness. It helps you control your emotions. I teach it in one of my brain hacking classes because controlling your emotions actually helps with physiological symptoms that people can get. So the story model, we kind of chop it up to like the foundation of how the world works and how we interact with it. All right, let's jump into it. So this is the story model. So I'm going to walk you through step by step each section, and I'm going to use a metaphor. I'm going to talk about little Johnny, and little Johnny is a football player. Okay, so little Johnny, he is being thrown the football and he drops it. Okay, that's something happens. And then he has a reaction. His reaction is typically emotional. It's the first thing that happens to every single human is you have a reaction. And so he's mad, angry, upset, disappointed. That's the reaction that little Johnny has when he drops the football. Now he's going to form a judgment. And that judgment is, I suck at football, or I suck at catching the ball, right? And then he's going to tell a story. The story is, man, every time the football gets thrown to me, chances are I'm going to drop it because of the judgment I have that I'm not very good at football. Okay. You guys tracking me so far? Now, then we go to gather evidence. So now Johnny could catch the ball 10 times and then drop it once. Our brains want the path of least resistance. So the reason why it gathers evidence is it wants to stop thinking about alternates. It wants to form a neural pathway to conserve energy. So we gather evidence to say, see, I'm not a very good football player. Well, in the end, you predict your future. Okay, so obviously this could go the other way and he could catch the ball and be like, I'm amazing at football, and then form a judgment around that and then tell the story and then predict his future. He gets better and better at football, right? So it can go the other way, and that's kind of the point. But these are reactionary things that we're currently talking about. But let's talk about real estate and market. Like I ask people right now, we're in 2024, the market, and they're like, okay, rates are high. Well, they have a reaction, scared, anxious, fear, right? Form a judgment. The judgment is people aren't buying, like rates are too high. They tell a story. The story is, no, why would anybody buy in this market with rates this high and prices this high? Well, then they gather evidence. See, I knew they didn't want to buy. See, I know they don't want to buy. And their actions start to mirror that evidence they gather, and then they predict their future. They don't sell anything. Okay, same story. Rates are high, have a reaction. Hey, I'm confident. I know I'm good at what I do. And I know that I feel good about my business. Form a judgment. People buy in all circumstances. They have to buy for a lot of reasons: divorce or moving or having kids and needing bigger space. So you tell your story like, people buy in this market. They buy in every market. In fact, there are people out there doing what I want to do. I gather evidence of that, and then I predict my future. I become significantly more successful. So here's the hack, though. The hack is being able to be aware of your reaction. A lot of people can't control their first reaction. Sometimes the reaction to a circumstance is negative a lot of the time. And, the better you get at being aware of it, you can control those reactions. But, that is a knee jerk is kind of the word that people use. So here's the catch. Here's the model or the hack to this model is you pause between the reaction and the judgment. Breathe and feel the emotion. It's okay to have the emotion. And then you ask yourself these questions. Now, side note, asking yourself questions pulls you out of your lizard brain, which is reactionary, fight or flight. That's the reaction, into the frontal cortex, your human brain. That's where logic can take place. And the reaction, okay, let's talk about rates. Rates being high and people aren't buying, right? That's the judgment. Is it true that rates are high and people aren't buying? Yes. Is it 100% true? Well, No, it's not 100% true. Okay. Is somebody else doing what I think can't be done? Is someone in this market selling real estate at a high level? Yes. Okay. So what else could be true? That people are still buying. How would I show up if that other option was true? What would I do differently? Now, all of a sudden, my emotions are mirroring the logic around, hey, if they can do it, I can do it. It can be done. Now you tell a story that everybody buys in every scenario of a market, right? If they have a good enough reason that they can afford it, they're going to buy. Then you gather evidence and you predict your future. You find more success. So this story model is the foundation that you should form to be able to have a basis off of your reactions, to pause and ensure that you're moving in the right direction and that you're pointing towards evidence that would actually benefit you instead of gathering evidence that wouldn't. Again, our brains are always going to seek evidence to conserve energy. So why not tell a story that benefits you?